fucking up my timing. Wait 56 seconds. All right, you old miserable bastard. You didn't think I was going to stream, did you? To be fair, I wasn't going to. I still feel like shit, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. I've been off most this week, and it has been glorious. I have missed my peers a little bit, but as always, I'm Kamer, aka the Nerdy American in England, coming at y'all live from BreadboardStudios headquarters, aka the Shit Shack. Like I was saying, it was off all week. It was nice. We got a lot of work done on Valium, like a ton of bugs that we didn't even know existed that were performance based. We got the server code clean. We can spawn out bots now, so we can have big free for alls with just one person. So a lot of good stuff happened. So I figured I'd switch it up, do some electronics. So what have we got today? So this is kind of an addendum to the previous episodes we were doing, which is sort of the under the. I'm probably going to put this under the YouTube under the headline that your SNES is a ticking time bomb. That's all it's going to say. And this is the whole point of this series. This particular one is we're going to open up some units that I've been getting through some friends and colleagues at work that I'm offering to do the BBSLL mod is what we're actually calling it, the BBSLL mod for the long life mod. And I wanted to show you all that even these working known good units are still running at risk until they've been swapped out. The last one we did was Mike's, and that one was a no power right off the bat, so it looks like that one had degraded. We changed all the caps, we did a shitload of troubleshooting, couldn't get it back off camera. I've actually done a bunch more, and I've got it sort of narrowed down to the first start of the path, so I'm going to keep working on it, but I kind of going to shelf that one for a bit. Just to have a think about it because I was up late last night working on it. So we're gonna do this one's a work friend who's this guy's hilarious. He's awesome. So uh, he's got this unit here. This is a good known unit. It powers on, but it's got a bad VX chip, so none of the extended features work on this one. Like you can't play Super Mario Kart. Star Fox works, but the scaling is weird. If you tried to play like F-Zero, it would almost undoubtedly not look right. So the really like the extra chip ones don't work, but everything else works fine. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed with that mod, and we're gonna see what sort of state the inside looks like. So this is a fresh unit, so brand new one, known working. Let's just this is just to show the baseline of what it's like with these things. We're trying to bring these things back to life, trying to save them. Because sooner or later the what's the saying from Zombieland? Sooner or later, the world's little meter for Super Nintendo is going to drop down to none, and the only people left with them are the people who are smart and swapped out the caps. So, all right, let's close out some shit and switch to the overhead, and let's crack a lacking because I'm getting pretty quick at these. Not to toot my own horn. Where's the overhead? Oh, wrong one. That one. We could probably kill that one. Yeah. Alright, hang on, let me get my shit straight. Where's the overhead? And I'll finish that thought. Hang on. Come on. Where you at, overhead? Get up there. That one goes there, and that one goes there, right? And then that one goes in the bottom. Okay, so where's my overhead cam? Come on. What about this one? Nope. How about that one? Ah, there we are. Okay. So like I was saying, the whole point of this series, this particular like bit that we're going into, is to just go to show you that these things were designed a certain way, and it wasn't necessarily bad. It's got that flaw on C59, which is always the problem, but these things are going to last forever. Any kind of gear out there that's got any kind of electrolytic caps in it is a ticking time bomb theoretically. But the Japanese stuff, as good as it's made, it's it's got to be done sooner or later. You got to do it on these things. So, and you'll see why. So, all right. We already got the screws out of this one. Yep. Okay, so I've got the check, so we know whose that is. Let's get this thing open and have a look on the inside, shall we? Have a little look-see. Let's get all the crap unconnected. First things first, I gotta hear a track. And I think this might be it. Yeah, I like this one. Alright, let's take this thing apart. See what sort of situation we're dealing with here. What kind of skitchiation. Let's get my fat ass head out of the way. I got a feeling this one might actually be okay. See, the person who owns this one actually takes really good care of it. Not that the last person didn't, but I know that he's like quite on top of it as far as playing it regularly and stuff. So let's see what it's like. And I must have picked a bad night. Everybody must be out and about. I also didn't do any campaigning this time around. I usually do a couple Facebook campaigns to build up to the stream nights, but as they say, I couldn't be bothered. Okay. We're also going to change out the color on these. This is going to be cool. I started doing this recently. You'll see what we need in a little bit. Get the chill stuff going tonight. I like it. I feel like I'm really starting to prefer these things to the VCRs. Those VCRs are such a pain in the ass to just deal with in general. Ugh, I had to take a bit of a break. It just gets a bit overwhelming. There's the shield. Alright, so we gotta get these back ones off. Is that all of them? Nope, got one more. Always with the ones and the mores. Alright. Ooh, it's nice and clean on the inside. So fresh and so clean, clean, clean. You know what? I gotta hear something. Where's it at? Hang on, bear with me. Got something particular stuck in my head. There's my favorites. Ooh, that's it right there. That's the one. That's the stuff. I'm just gonna shut up for a minute because I want to hear this. You're gonna like this one, Bruce. This one's nasty. So how do we look? Go to the next one. There we go. Okay. So right off the bat, all right. So right off the bat, I see one thing that's standing out, and it is right there, in between. See that little spot, that little gap? There's that little dark patch. That's electrolytic, and it looks like it's right on the edge of cutting that bad boy out too. So it's a good thing we caught this in time. This is going to be a real tricky one because it's so close to the edge, but we'll get it. This is a Super Nintendo First Edition firmware 1. So this has got the bug right there. That one is polarized, should not be polarized. So it's got the cat bug on it. So yeah, this is a Super Nintendo. We're going to swap out all these caps that leak for caps that don't. So it's going to be a full PolyMod. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the one up here makes 8. Looks like that one's been done before. It's got a rough side. Someone's recapped that side before, and it looks like they did this one as well. So this is probably why this one's in such good shape, as it's been maintained. Someone's done this once before, but they replaced it with electrolytics. We're doing it a second time, and we're doing it with solids. So this is never gonna have to be done again. Whenever it goes out, you just replace the cap, and that's the end of it. It's not gonna tear your board up in the process. We're also going to fix that bug with the manufacturer's flaw with that, and we're going to change that out with an unpolarized ceramic, which is actually a fun one as well. So we're going to do a lot of shit to this thing. That's going, the VR's going. We're going to replace it with a modern one. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cap swaps, plus the big one. That makes 9. And we'll clean that, scrub the board, replace that one with the right one, and then we're done. Hook it on the debug cart, see what we got. Uh-oh, did I hook up the wrong one? I did hook up the wrong one, row. So I got my pinchers on here, but I didn't want to use those yet. I'm pretty sure that's the one I just hooked up. Yeah, it is. All right, I'm not ready for you yet, dude. You go over here. You start burning me later. Have you not seen me do one of these Super Nintendo LLM mods yet? Or LL mods. Well, we're called BBS LL mod. That's what we're officially landing on. BBS LL mod. 2 go to tantalum, 3, 4, 5, 6 go to solids, and 1 goes to ceramic. Got a whole slew of them, so let's get these reflowed real quick. Get out of the way, man. Just slow me down. Cleaned up before I did this, shouldn't I? Goddamn pigsty in here. There. Stay. Alright, let's try that again. So we resurfaced the tip, so that should be good now. Just gotta give it a little scrub. There, better. Alright, let's do this. So I'm gonna do reflow and then a pull. Starting with C64. I should probably turn on my fan so I don't die from toxic fume exposure. And I'm just gonna bridge these two because they're coming off anyway, so it's no big deal. I just don't want to get close to that super cap. All right, now we're up here. Oh, it's my favorite track from this guy too. It's very LTJ Buchan. I can never pronounce his shit right. LTJ Buchan, whatever the hell it is. I'm going to see him soon too. Yeah. Ooh, he must have struggled to get that one on there. Ooh, that is ugly. Look at that big bastard. Hang on. Sorry, you're all down here still. Look at that edge. Right over here. Watch this. Hang on, let me re-tin this tip. Alright, watch this. That is ugly. It's gonna be a bitch to get off there. We're gonna have to glob this one on there real good. God. Looks like they just had a go at it. That might have been why he gave it to you for free. Or why how you inherited it. Alright, for what it's worth. Alright, now let's get this one off. Well, let's get this one flowed, and then we're gonna get them all off. Okay. Done all of them? That is all of them. Alright, so now we need Mr. Crabclaw out. Now we need the lobster. Clean this tip. Okay, let's swap out. We gotta go over to the senior crab. And if we do this, we should be able to pull them and clean them all at one time, because I'm fucking lazy and I'm sick, so I'm trying to keep this motherfucker as short as possible. Alright. Let's do this bank first. Let's do the easy ones first. Let's get these two. Sorry, didn't mean to blind you all. Alright, so we're gonna get these two off first. That's the 3325s, right? Yeah, 3325. $330. Here we go. Oh wait, I need my tweezers. Shit, it started turning. There's one. That one looked like it's on its way out too. There's two. I'm gonna try to arrange these so they're a bit more organized. Okay, there's two. So now we're gonna do this one. And this is the one that always gives me shit because of the angle. See what I mean? Come on. That one didn't want to come off. We got it though. Oh, I hear it. That's my song right there. I got some motto music while I do these. I'm gonna shut up.
Only a pair of steel gray eyes that seem to look right through me.
Sometimes wind and sometimes rain. Then the sun comes back again. Sometimes rain and sometimes snow. Goodness, how we'd like to know that surrounds this planet.
That one is just way too dangerous. I'm gonna snip this one. It's just too dangerous. I don't want to risk it. So we're gonna do a clean shear and then a pop. This thing's a bitch to get off here. Whoever did this back one fucked it up. It looks like they did a rush job, or they melted the plastic and it just went, I think it just went downhill from there for them. So let's clean this up first and foremost. I also can see some electrolytic down here because the music was playing. I couldn't say it at the time because the music was playing, but if you look right here, there's electrolytic damage right there. See that black scorch? But our friend got super lucky. It missed the trace by just like a hair. Look at that right there. So I think we're okay. This one we're used to, 59, is that backwards one. And it always runs, and it's just right next to a ground, so it's not the end of the world. So we can live with that. So let's clean this mofo up, and we gotta get these pens off that are still stuck in here. So let's deal with this real quick. Let's deal with this nuclear bomb. I'm amazed that they got this to work, whoever did the original swap. It looks like they did good all the way till they got to the edge, and for some reason they struggled with that one. It's probably because that one's a bit smaller, and people tend to just kind of rush it and fuck it up. So we're gonna sort that out. Let's get that sorted. Alright, I gotta get some room to work, so you guys gotta bear with me. Alright. Sorry, was that too low? No trouble. Come on, get all that nasty plastic off there. Uh-oh. Did it freaking head come off with it? Didn't look like it did. Might have to give that one a nudgel, because it looks like I might have lost a little bit of the pad. Not the end of the world. God, this one was a lot. I mean, you see, this one was working when we started. It's crazy how many of these have this going on underneath, and how many people out there watching this have no idea that this is what's happening right now, sitting in your closet or up in your attic. Just sitting there eating away at your Super Nintendo. Alright, so I don't want to be rough with this one, so we're going to use the soft brush. We'll come back to it. Let's get the rest of these pads cleaned up, because this one down here, oh man, did you guys not see that one? Yeah, you did. This one down here in particular really needs some TLC. C59. Usual suspect. Come on. Oh, this part is bomb. Listen to this. So there's the surface cleaned. Let's pull that super cap off there while we got the tweezers out, because we're gonna have to do that one anyway, sooner or later. Let's see, we got 2 pins or 3 pins this time? Oh, it's got 2 this time instead of 3. All right. All right, there's the big cap off. Let's clean off those pads while they're still hot, and maybe I'll get a chance of that one not settling inside pad right like it always does, because there's lead in there. Watch this. It's gonna go halfway down and then stop. It does this every time. Watch. All right, there's the surface. Watch. It'll go halfway down and just be like, nope, I'm not going anymore. Here it goes. Watch this. Look at that. How'd I know it was gonna do that? Because they stick a bunch of lead in there so people won't do this. Fuckers. This didn't stop me. I still get it. Watch, because the right one, this one will come right out. Watch this. Boom. See that? See? No problem. It's just that right one every damn time. Every time. It's all right, let's clean the board. Let's let the claw cool off for a minute. I don't know what it is about that right side one, but it's a real pain in the ass every time. I mean, it's not like we haven't done big caps before. We do them on the Panasonics like all the time. When I started reading into it, apparently there's just a lot of lead in that solder. Like a lot. Where's my needle? Actually, no. Let's not deal with that yet. Let's go ahead and clean off the surface. And see what we got. See what everything looks like once we get all the crap off there and neutralize that electrolyte. God, that one up here looks just, look how much rust came out of that thing. Look at that, it's like brown and black. This is why when you're going to swap them, you might as well do them over, because you're going to have to do them again in 10 years anyway. If you're lucky, 10 years. Maybe 20 if you're really, really lucky. If you manage to get ones with like alt caps, then they're a little better. Like if they end up throwing some Rubicons in there or like some Panasonics, but they didn't necessarily come with Panasonics. They were using various batches of caps back then. So some got Panasonic, some got Nikolon, some got off-brand generics. It just depends, you know, on which batch you got. I really needed an easy board. I mean, this is crazy. Like, you see, like, this thing was working, and look at how much work it still needs. All right, to state the obvious, let's do this one first. Some grubby shit. Ooh, that one leaked too. Watch. This isn't like surface scuffs. Look at this. See all that black? That's electrolytic damage too. It's crazy, right? This thing worked perfectly minus the FX games. If this had been left for another, like, I think at this rate with the amount of brown, that bulk of that was electrolytic. Let me turn this down. I'm betting this thing wouldn't have lasted another 2 years, maybe 3. I mean, it was basically on its way out. That's why the VFX went out. It probably got shorted out and grounded. It might actually start working again after this. Alright, so we gotta kind of have a soft go at this thing, get it neutralized. Otherwise, it's gonna keep eating at the board even after you replace it. So that's what that's fully cleaned and neutralized. That's what basically, that's how much we're looking at. So basically that whole patch right there is discolored, has been eaten through. It ate through the pads there, it ate through the pads there. It started to have it go into that one, but it looks like it didn't get through. This one looks okay. I'm a little worried about that. But it's not going to, as long as it doesn't go any further, it should be okay. I mean, it will be. It's obviously been okay, so it's not going to continue to eat into it since it's already been neutralized at this point. So we're going to put a solid cap in its place. Tantalum, actually, specifically. Let's get the rest of this board cleaned up. We're going to tread lightly with some of these. This is, you know, almost 40-year-old system, so. All right, let's get these lower ones cleaned up down here. Let's go ahead and work our way down to C59. So we'll do that one. Let's see, we'll do this one. We'll just work our way down. So let's go ahead and start cleaning the rest of these. Let's see what we got. So, we got a bit right there. Let's give it a scrub and neutralize that. Soft scrub. I want to kill the path. Spread it around, so we need to make sure it's picked up. Ooh, this one's a jam too. test to make sure we still got continuity. It's a nasty ass bass line. Listen to that. Hey, Bam, what's up, buddy? Sorry, I just saw you. That's 2 for 2, man. 2 for 2. I got all the originals in. All of them. We're doing another Super Nintendo. This is another part of your Super Nintendo is the Ticking Time Bomb series. This is one we got from a friend. It was a working unit with a bad VX chip, so it can't play the extended Super Nintendo games. So we're doing what we are now referring to as a BBS LL mod, long life mod. So swapping it over to shit that'll make it live forever. Well, at least as close to forever as the Super Nintendo gets. Alright, we got B. So first things first, let's make sure we got... Alright. So we got, this should be ground here. Good. This one doesn't go to ground, but it does go here. That's good. This one needs to go to here. So this is where it's been damaged right there. I gotta keep that light now. There we go. You can see the electrolytic damage right there. So I'm going to check and make sure this path didn't get cut to here. So this runs to ground. This is always the same spot it happens. Bad VX chip. Yeah, see the DSP chip. Yeah, it, oh, right, yeah. Okay, so let's see if this path is still good. So we need, it looks like the electrolytic didn't toast the path, so we'll leave that intact. We're not going to grind it out. We've already neutralized it, so it's not going to chew into it anymore. Okay, and the other one I was worried about was which one? This one in the top's got me a little nervous. So let's check both. Alright, so this one should be grounded over here. Yep, that's good. Now, where does that one go? Because that's the one that I need to be careful about. Alright, so this is going straight from here to pin 9 on this chip. So I'm going to do a little grind on here to expose the path. Actually, I don't need to because I got the pad. So this here, I'm going to get a little bit of this pad. Needs to go to pin 2 on this microcontroller. Actually, it's pin 8, but... Yeah, so we still got a path. It didn't actually chew through the trace. Thank God for that. So, good trace there, good trace there. Wow, man, you took this thing to me. You brought it to me right when this thing was like on, like literally like on the bed, flatline, like beep. It's like, you know, literally straight on it. You know, it was still alive, but man, you'd have waited much longer. This mofo would have been out. Right. Okay, so let's start adding. Start capping it out. Now you're all around me. Your warm embrace kindly reminds me that I'm not alone. The cold in my heart was pulling me under until you held me in your arms. Okay, what do we need first? Let's do the 1050s. Yeah, sorry, to answer your question, I bet it is that DSP chip. It does look a little grubby, doesn't it? I mean, hopefully it might be the cap acting up that's not letting it do its job and it's shorted out, because it will function without it as long as it's not needed. Alright, so let's do... Let's get ahead of ourselves, hang on. Lost, golden teary eye, you laid me on your shoulder. Alright, let's do these first down here. So I say let's do that one and that one and work our way up. So this is going to be 10 and 50. So 50 volts, 10 nanofarad. So 50 volts, 2.2. 50 volts, 33. Oh man, I'm all over the place with the volume. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, let's do the first one. There's a wrapper on this pack. All right, sleeves. Man, did I just use up a whole flux tube? I did, end to end. I used a whole flux tube. Damn. It's the second one we went through this month. Oh wait, we're in a new month now. Almost had 2 in 1 month. That means, does that mean I need to dig out another one? Oh, luckily I got a backup. All right. All right, let's fucking do this. Which way we need to orient it? Like that? Like a glove. Nice. Alright, we got a little bit of a flux problem here. Use the whole fucking tube. It's alright, we got a backup though. Got a backup for the backup too. Obviously it's not as thin as the other stuff, but it works. Some greasy shit. Can you all see that? Yeah, you can see it. Right there. Alright, we're gonna get that bottom pin now. That little feller right there. It's good to me. Like a glove. Sorry, that's gonna get old, isn't it? Where's that pin at? Alright. 2 tools, man. Definitely down 2 tools. Alright, let's give it the old tap test. Looks good to me. Alright, let's do the next one. Go ahead and do that top one. That was a little bit good aim. I mean, it landed on it. Can't say 100% it. There we go, like a glove. Oh, I love the old shit. You know, I've been watching a lot of Beavis and Butthead lately because of that channel on Twitch that runs 24 hours a day. That shit is so... I can't believe we watched that shit as kids. It's just, if my son was watching that at 10, I would have a fucking conniption fit. Like now, which makes me such a hypocrite, doesn't it? Alright, here comes the next one. Don't be a dick like Donnie. God, where's that from? Good? Yeah, pretty good. I'm gonna have to switch this around. Break this one out in a ambidextrous style. Bear with me, hang on. Alright, we're gonna have to reset this camera. This thing is just like right in my face. There. Thank God for small favors. Alright, let's try that again. Tack this down by hand. So there's like very little room on that side to get in there. Let's just tack the bottom first. Save ourselves a shitload of trouble. Now let's try the top. Now that we got the bottom tacked on. Make sure this is. Sorry, I'm a perfectionist. I saw that solder there. Alright, so we gotta get in between there. And that, oh shit, that's right in front of the camera. I didn't realize that. Oh, thank you, thank you. So yeah, we new desk. It used to have just one, so everything made it move. So yeah, it's actually like a little more stable now. Now I'm the unstable element instead of the desk. It definitely helped doing a restack like that. That's for sure. I need a big blob on this one. Not too big. Yeah, it was getting a bit annoying, wasn't it? So I sort of took a different approach because I was watching some of the videos after the fact, and I was just like, oh my god, is this what it's like trying to watch me live? Can't get a good angle on the bastard. Alright, let me pull the camera away. Bear with me, because this is one of these funky ones I just have to do on the side. Get it? No, it didn't. Right, let's try using the back side of the blade. I'm not getting much progress with the front. Where'd my fucking solder go? Alright, let's try the back side. There we go. God. Give it the old tap test. Yep. That one was way more of a pain in the ass than it needed to be. Usually that one doesn't give us that much shit. Alright, let's get this crap cleaned off the top of this thing. It's gotta at least look professional. There we go. Okay, so there's two. Snug, yes. Good. It still wobbles a bit when I move it around, but it's getting better. Alright, so now here's where things are gonna get interesting. First of all, I gotta get more solder flux. Give me 1 second, because I'm not using this crappy stuff. This stuff looks like a giant white booger, and it's just throwing me off. So give me just 1 second. Hang on. Yeah, like 9 of these tubes in here. Had to bust them out. Ooh, too much, too much, too much. All right, so let's do the big one first, and we'll do the SMB one next. Oh my god, these freaking biscottis are amazing. Mm. Check these out. These aren't even normal biscottis. Look at this. So it's a biscotti, but it's like chocolate covered biscotti. Tell me that's not fucking amazing. And it's not even just like any kind of chocolate. It's like Dove chocolate. Garb. This is so amazing. Yeah. Yeah, it caught my eye too. I was just like, oh man, that sounds glorious. Glorious. Alright. Where we at? Yeah. Where we at? 60, right there. That's the one we're doing next. Just tack this down so I can use this as an anchor point. There we go. Alright. Let's get the other one. Get him on there. There. Did I get it? Yep, that got it. Give it the wobble test. Looks good to me. Alright, so this one's got to be the SMB one now. We got to put a ceramic one there because that's the one that is flagged on the schematic as polarized and was installed as polarized, but isn't actually not polarized. You're probably tired of me talking about that at this point. We spent like 10 minutes talking about that last episode. I need a nice fresh pad if I'm going to do this. Alright, so we need 50 volt 10 UF SMB ceramic. 50 volt 10 UF right there. First one I grabbed. How's that for a slice of pie? Alright, so that's going there. Yeah, I gotta concentrate on this part because putting a SMB ceramic cap where it's supposed to be the other kind is not, it's not really supposed to do this, so this is a bit of a bitch, so you gotta bear with me. Come on. Alright, here we go. I can't get an angle on this freaking edge. There. Don't move. What I said, don't move. Nudge it just a bit. Well, it came off. Motherfucker. I might have to switch this one around because it's pissing me off. This fucking thing right here that's pissing me off, it's right in my face. Like, right in my face. There. God. Rat bastard. You're gonna tell me not to do this, Bam, but I'm gonna do it against your guidance. I'm still gonna bump this thing down. They're gonna be like, don't do it! And I'm gonna be like, God damn it! It was just a little bit crooked. There. Woo! God damn. I know, right? Dude, it's just like, it's just not designed to be, it's not designed to be installed that way. That's why that was such a hassle. But look, we got it anyway, see? See? We needed that surrender. I can see, I'm picturing your head like, ah! Ah! Just like going nuts like I would. Um, yeah, so that's a ceramic SMB, but it's installed where a electrolytic SMB would normally go. So obviously not the ideal installation scenario, but it's alright, we got it. Just want to make sure it doesn't get too sloppy first before I do that. Are you done? Waiting for it to go. Go save him! Go save that man! That's funny. Appreciate that. I do, Bam. Alright, one more. Let's get the other side. That should be easy now that we got the other one. God. Normally it's not that bad, but it was on camera, and it was just right in my face, and that block was getting in the way. Alright, so this side should be easy now. It should just pop straight on. Need a bit more solder. There we go. Really good. Muy bien. Yeah. What do you think, Bam? How's it look, buddy? Here, let me zoom in. I gotta get your sign off before we can move on. You're part of this team too. Hang on. See if I can zoom in. Come on, give me some focus. Alright, so there's the top. And there's the bottom. Look good? I think that looks good. Yeah, I think we got it. Right? Trial. I'm like holding like the soldering iron. I think I deserve a piece of chocolate after that. Deserve a piece of flux covered chocolate. Crumbs on the floor and all. Tastes like flux. Alright. We got this one now. I'm gonna go ahead and opt in to do that side first because I'm right-handed. Yeah, exactly. I like your thinking. I like your thinking. You're on the right track. Did I already pull one off there? I didn't. I gotta get another one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Oh man, did I lose another one? Well, shit. There's a butt gone. It's like £1.19 for each of those. Alright, so we're gonna pop this one on. Need to nudge that back just a tad. Peanut flavor. Oh, nice. Peanut flavored nougat. That's interesting. I didn't know they made that. Nudge this one back just a smidge. Right about there. There we go. I missed a spot. There we go. That's a little better. All right, give it the tap test. Boop, boop, boop. It's good to me. There's 4 down. 1, 2, 3 to go. 4 to go. Yeah, something like that. Plus that big bastard. We might have to split this one into a few sessions. All right, so that's all the 1034s. Plus that one. Let's clean them off. Where'd my damn brush go? Still a bit grubby over there. Excuse me. Sorry. Hiccup in your ear. There we go, that's better. Pretty damn good, I say so. Alright, let's do these 233s. Getting damn cold in here. Alright, so we don't need these for the moment. I think that was the last 50 we need. 74, 33, and then 2.2. So we don't need any of those. I would love to know where that capacitor went, though. It's fucking cold in here. Ugh. Give me heat. Let's hope this pile of alcohol-soaked rags nearby isn't. That's no kind of risk, is it? Come save my day, Mr. Biscotti. All right, so we got 4 purple, then we got 2 red, 2 tantalums. I'm to the music. All right. Where's those little red ones? Is that them? 1647. That's purple. All right. Yeah, I need red. Fuses. Tantalum. Tantalum. There they are. Oh man, I tore the bag. Shit. Maybe I messed up opening the bag like that. I fucked up. Alright, 2 more in the hole. These are what? Whoever did this replacement screwed it up. It's supposed to be a 33-25 and it looks like they did a 13 and a 25. God, I'm surprised that didn't blow up in their face, literally speaking. It was way under, well, I guess technically it would just discharge faster. Guess it depends on the circuit. So last ones are purple. These are red. Red caps. It's backwards. Yeah, these are a lot smaller, so this is actually a lot easier on this one. good. Let's do the other side. There we go. Give it the tap test. Bloop. Bloop. There's another one. Let's go ahead and pop on the one next to it. Telling you, man, so much faster with these freaking Super Nintendos than it was with the VCRs. Those things are so slow. I'm about to like change the way I'm doing those like dramatically. It's just so time consuming. Okay. Yeah, the red. I do too. It's really like, it's different, isn't it? It's quite interesting to see a red capacitor. Well, interesting for me. Maybe not other people, but I know it's interesting for you as well. Okay. There we go. Nice little bead. Let's give it the tap test. And it seems a little loose on that side. Nope. Nope, that's good. Okay, so that's number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. All right, let's move on to the maitre d', which is the one we've been thinking about and sort of sidelined for the moment, which is that one right there. So we got to be super careful with this one, like super careful. There's basically one piece of a pad to stick to, and that's it right there. I'm actually really heavily considering adding one of those extra trace pads. Let's see how much I can get to stick to it. Maybe we'll luck out. Let's just try to give it a nice little soft recondition to start with. You know what I mean? That's the biggest we'll ever be able to get to stick on there. Considering we're trying to put a surface cap on there. And it's a big one too at that. I think we're gonna have to extend this pad out. So here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna show you a trick I learned back in the day. Learning new tricks. All right. Here we go. Watch this. All right, get you a nice flat pair of pliers, something like hammerhead pliers, something like that are flat. And you get you a solder wick, and you cut off the bit that you don't need, that's excess. Now, it needs to be a perfectly straight line when we do this, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these flat pliers, and we're gonna mush this down. We're gonna flatten it out, so it's nice and thin. squeeze the shit out of it. Right? Give it a good squeezing. Squeeze it till it's flat as can be. So now look at it. See how thin that is? Yeah? So now I'm going to snap the tip off of it. That sounds so much worse out loud. We need about that much. See? So we're going to... Alright. I'm going to snag onto this with my tweezers. And I'm going to lock them down so I don't lose this shit, because I got a lock on them right there. Alright. So we got this little doohickey here that we've flattened out, pulled off of a piece of solder wick. Alright? So I'm going to douse this thing in flux. And I'm going to try to get something to stick to that little bit that we got. The more the merrier. And I might even actually expose this trace a little bit, but I actually don't want to risk it. So let's just do it. Let's just do it legit. So there's two things that are going to fuck you here when we do this. Alright? The first thing is not using enough flux. Will get you in tons of trouble. The second thing is not completely cleaning off your tip before you do this. If there's any impurities or anything in there at all, it's going to stick to the tip of your soldering iron. When you lift it up, it's going to come off with it if the pad doesn't completely come off when you do it. So we're going to have to do this real careful. I'm going to drop this down. I'm just going to mush it right to it. Okay? Okay? Now, unlock these and let it go. And I'm going to really carefully peel this up. Keeping pressure on the edge to not pull the pad up with it when you do this. So we're kind of rolling it up. Okay? Get rid of the excess. Okay? We're going to flatten this back down. Okay, and now we got a new pad. See? Nice, clean, happy pad. Right? There's a catch to this. When you put that cap down, that's going to loosen that thing up and it's going to come off. So you need to do the right side first when you tack this down, and then the left. That's the only way this works. Okay? If you do this right, it should be slick as snot when you're done. I'm tempted to actually give just a tad more right there. Okay, so let's get that cap on there now. So this is one of these weird ones. This is going to be the tantalum one because the rating is too high and I couldn't get a polymer one because it just didn't make them in that size. Alright, so I need 47. 1647 tantalum. Alright, but I've got others as well. I think I've got an open pack already. That one next. There we go. 4716. Alright. Do you remember what we talked about last time? What the deal was with these tantalum ones? There's something you need to be aware of, and anybody remember what that was? The stripe on the tantalums doesn't go to negative, it goes to positive. It's backwards. So don't put the stripe on negative unless you want a tantalum fire in your lab. It's not a lot of fun either. It's quite big. If you're ever curious, Google that shit. It's big. When tantalums go, man, they go big. Alright, so see the stripe? The stripe goes positive. The long edge is negative, short edge is positive. It's going to go just like this. So we're going to have to help shimmy this thing along because this isn't a standard install. Alright, we need to make sure this first one is 100% perfect and right, so let's take our time. Get the flux melted. There we go. Just need to nudge this up just a hair though. There we go. Alright, now flatten it out. Too flat, too flat. There we go. Alright, there's one side down. Let's get the other side. Alright, here we go. This is the one that's going to get us. This is the pad, so we got to do this shit and get in and out of there quick so that pad doesn't come loose. So we're going to hit it on the tantalum and let it run down. I might scoot this back and let y'all see. This is what we call a drip method. We're going to let it drip down and we're going to let it set from the pad on the side. I don't want this thing directly making contact with this thing at all unless I absolutely have to. There we go. See? Did you see how that happened? You might have to rewind it after the fact, but the soldering iron never touched the pad. It touched here and it just let it run down and drip and then stick on its own. If you've ever jumped a pad like that, you need to make sure you're doing it like that, because as soon as that iron touches that copper, the wick, it's going to immediately come off of it and then you're fucked. That's it. It's never going to go back on again. You have to take the whole thing off to start over. Whew! Okay, there's one. Now I'm noticing here we missed the cap that we didn't take off over here. Oh, the guy right there is still sitting there, so I might have to shimmy this one. I'm gonna have to clip and snip this one because I can't be bothered to break out the tweezers. This is a little tiny one though, so it's not a big deal. It'll snip right off. Anybody see where that went? Because I didn't. I really hope that didn't land in my heater. Guess we'll find out next time we turn it on. Ow! Right in the fucking cheek. God! It's like a bullet. Always does this as soon as you get past that first bit on me, and then it all just comes blasting out. I realize when I say that out loud how that sounded. Alright. Alright, we're doing C62. See all that brown shit in there? Can't be having that underneath there. It's actually conductive. Sorry. I just already get the thing out, so I'm cleaning it up while I'm at it. Okay, let's pop this one on now. Had a bad tip. Interesting. Alright, let's get this last one on there. Well, second to last one. We still gotta do the big fat one. the other side. Man, I got no light left today at all. There. It's a little better. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah. There we go. Let's give it the tap test. Yep. Flying through these now, aren't we? Alright, that's all the surface ones. Thank God for small favors. 2 tantalums, 1, 2, 3, 4 solids, 1 ceramic, and 2 polymers. Switch this side over, and we're going to do the voltage regulator and the super cap finishing. So let's go ahead and do the super cap first. It's the most infuriating. Might try to use the suction cup on it. Take a crack at it from a different angle. Alright. Alright, that's where we're living right now. Right there, and right there. It oh, thank you. It gets you a bad board and then just like have at it, like, you know, just something that's already bad. I think I must have did like 20 before I finally got one to go right. It's not fun all the time, I'll definitely give you that. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of wiggle room on these things. I think that's why that first one got messed up so badly. Alright, let's blob these out. Alright, I'm going to try to use the vacuum on it, because the last time it didn't work out so well, so let's try this. Alright, let's try this again. See what I mean? Same spot. I see why I gotta use the needle. Alright, so we're gonna do this the other way. Where's that resistor? Usually keep a little resistor around here somewhere, or like a fat. No, you know what? Where's that needle? I had a really good one too, hand-picked and everything. Hang on. Alright, you know what? If you don't have a needle, you can always use a resistor. Don't put flux on it or it'll stick to it. Alright, so you get like a little resistor. Get it in there just sort of initially. And then there, so it's sort of sticking in now. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put a big blob around it and then push it through. And then when you take the solder off with the wick, it'll pull everything around it gonna build another blob up, right? We're gonna shove this resistor through. God, see how bad that lead is? There you go. See how it went through that time? So now we'll blob around it again, and then use the wick. And then that will pull everything out, but it will leave a hole around where the resistor was. It's the only way I know how to get lead out of these things, because that right side one is full of leaded solder from the 80s, and that shit is probably gonna outlive all of us, so you just gotta like overload it. Now we just build a big blob up around it, okay? And then take the wick to it. Get a nice clean tip. Reflux it. Definitely don't be shy with the flux on this step. Go back out. Nice clean wick. Oh, now I found the needle. Okay, all right, let's wick this one out. Hopefully this should get it all out. But you don't pull the resistor out. That's the only thing. You got to leave it in. Alright, now when we pull this out, it should leave a hole behind. Should be able to raggle it out now and leave enough of a spot for the other one to go through. So this one, you got to be a little careful when you do this step. Just kind of like open it up a little bit. Alright. It may snap off. If it does, it's no big deal because you got it on the other side, see? Now what we'll do, we're going to heat this side and pull it, and it should take all of it with it. And if it blocks back up like that, just line it back up. Give it a little heat. All right. A little more flux. They really didn't want people to do these big caps. It was more of a safety thing. They didn't want to get sued if somebody died and got electrocuted from doing one of these fat caps, so they made it so you can't ever get it off easily. Boom. Look at that. See? Came right out. You gotta fumble with it a bit, and it doesn't always work the first time. You might have to switch sides, but look at that. Boom. Straight through. Look at that. Nice little trick, huh? So yeah, get a resistor. Don't get any flux on it. Blob it, push it through, soak it out. Usually it will pop out and leave a hole. If it doesn't, then just like wiggle it, flip it over, do the other side, and you'll end up with a clear one. Now this one's the easy one because this one has no lead. Watch this. You can tell which side they led because if I do this then put a big blob on it. I won't even need to use a resistor on this one. It'll just come right out. Watch. All right, watch this. Watch, I'll immediately get flow. Look at that. See? This one has either less or no lead in it at all. I'm pretty sure it just has none. It might just have less. Let's work on the other side on that one. Oh yeah, it's still got a big blob on the other side. That's why. Well, I don't know. This one will probably clear out just on this. Watch. Let's revolve that one. I really hate dealing with these super caps. Okay, alright, let's try that again. Alright. Should get it this time. Oh, wait. Alright, so here we are right here. We're gonna do this last one. This is the one that should have less or no lead in it. Oops, sorry. Alright. Hopefully this should come right out. You paying your pain too? Come on. Alright, we're gonna have to use the resistor trick again. I snapped off a little too much of that last one. I'll have to use a different one. Here we go. Here's a good one. Oh. It's always this. That's why I hate doing these. There we go. Alright, so there's the other side. See, a little came through. So let's get that one too. it won't melt. Come on. Ugh. Fucking hate. I knew I should have just left this. This is what I get for being a perfectionist. I'm just gonna put the new cap in and just push it through. Sometimes it's not worth the fight on burning up the pad. So, if you get in a situation like this where you just can't get it to go, then the easiest way to do it is to just redo from the top, put it in the way you want it to go in, and then just fix it after it goes through. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're going to do it the same way we did the resistor, but we're going to use the actual cap instead this time. Since this has got big pins, this should give us a bit more leverage. I'm really annoyed that trick didn't work. I mean, it doesn't always work, but it usually does. Which side is negative? That's possible. There's part of the way. That's stuck to it now. Come on. Oh my god, fucking super caps. There. God. Although saying that, I probably should have bent that one in first, but that's alright. I can deal with it. Woo! Alright. Now we should be able to just loosen it up and push it down. Eventually. Get the right spot. I got enough through for it to be alright. Good enough for 2 a.m. and it's still conductive, so it counts. Let's tighten this thing down. Alright. One more and then we're done. And that's the voltage regulator. God, I hate those fucking big caps. They're so infuriating. Because it's not like I don't know what I'm doing, it's just the fact that they gummed them up with lead to stop people from messing with them. Definitely should do a lot of cleanup here. Just a ton of flux. It's not 100% the way I'd usually do it, but it works. And it's clean, so that's what matters. Okay, let's do the voltage regulator. That's going to be these 3 pins up here. So it'll be all 3 of these. Look at the brown crap coming over where that voltage regulator was. This old flux, I could smell it. It literally smells like Reagan and cocaine in this office right now. I know that's a sound that's difficult to explain, but that's about as close as I can get to explaining it. No worries, Bam. No worries. We're just coming up on the tail end now. We're doing the VR and we're going to sign off too. Just going to get this bad boy. Thanks for joining, sir. Thank you for joining. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. You have a good night. Rogaine. Yeah, there you go. Smells like Rogaine with minoxidil. That's hilarious. It does. It reeks in this office right now so bad from that leaded flux. Damn, we burnt out another wick stream. All right. Yeah, you have a good night, dude. Did we get all 3 of those? I think we did. Just gonna do a follow-up just to be safe. You too, sir. Thanks for joining. All right, let's get the voltage regulator. finally close the door. Freezing my nuts off in here. Really? Ton of this stuff everywhere. How much flux does that need? Save a little for the next guy. Alright, let's do this VR. Alright, this is the part where I need one of those little stumpy screws. Like that. So I gotta put a heat sink on this thing. But there's two problems. One, the capacitor that's next to it, the big cat we just did, is bigger than the original one. So when you try to put the top on, it won't go through. So we're gonna put basically one of these little, oh man, freaking. There. Alright, so we gotta put this on here so it doesn't overheat. But the freaking thing's gotta be right or it won't screw on. So that's brain surgery on it. So we gotta put this on. There. Okay. Now we got a heat sink on it. Now we can pop it in there. And then we can solder this and be done with it. Yeah. There we are. Right there. Last one. There's one. There's two. touch up just to be safe. There, one more. Alright, that's it. Alright. I can turn off the soldering iron finally. Alright, let's give it a clean. And turn it on, see what we got. It wouldn't take it so long if it wasn't for that damn super cap. Alright, let's see what we got. I'm keen to run that test again because it failed the VFX last time, but it may just been because of that cap. So let's put it back together. Alright, so we need all the bits. Let's start with this. There we go. Bad Knight's Hall. These are all the ones we swapped. Oh shit, can't see. Okay. Hey, we get to try our new light mod too. That's gonna be fun. Okay. That's really all we need for now to test it. That and the light, which is that. Which means I need the little doodad thing off, don't I? Where's the cover for this thing? Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I don't really need the cover yet. Fuck that. Deal with that later. I ain't gonna lie, Granddad getting tired, but it's alright. I want to see this through. I want to see if this changes the test. I also want to show off the blue light, the new power light mod. switch, because that's very important. Alright, do a quick one first, just to get a baseline. Ugh. Alright, we ready to test? Okay, first of all, I want to show you our new cool light. Check this out, watch this. Ah, how about that? Got a blue light now. Dong! How many Super Nintendos you seen with a blue light? Come on, that's pretty cool, right? Alright, now let's do the test. I just wanted to show that off. Camera, right? Yes. Alright, ready? Let's give it the old 1-2 test. We're going to use a real controller, because I learned my lesson from that last time. Alright, here's the debug cartridge. Let's pop that in. I actually don't need this on yet. Okay, there's the debug cartridge. Alright, ready? Alright, let's do a burn-in test and see what we got. Last time the VRX failed. Let's see. It was the last one on the list. So let's see if we get a clean on this one now that the cap's been swapped. Or the div, that's what it was. Yeah, so we're still getting a fail on the div. Everything else is pass. But that's okay, that was already there before. So see how it's div right there? Div 16.8. So what that means, there's a 16-bit and an 8-bit. So the 16-bit is broken, but the 8 still works, because the MPY still works. So got the same test results, which means the cap wasn't what was causing it, but the polymod's complete. We can give this back to him now, so we'll just finish putting it together, and that's it. So that is a successful mod. And he's got a nice, pretty, where's the overhead? Blue light on his SNES. Nice little polymod, right? I call it polymod. This is actually the BBS LLM. Well, I keep saying mod. The LL mod, which is going to be a long life. So this thing, it's good forever. Well, not forever. I mean, oh shit, I get the light on. Yeah, so this thing is pretty much like frozen in time. All of the caps have been changed that have electrolytic. So the only caps that remain that have electrolytic is that really big fucker we did. And that one's a Rubicon. And it's a high-end one. So I think it's like 30,000 hours at 150 degrees Celsius. So if you do the math, it's like at 90 degrees Celsius, it's something like, I think you should be able to get a good 20 years out of it easy. But the last one wasn't leaking and it was in there for 30. So this one's better than the last one. Alright, so let's go back into our burn-in test. Controller test doesn't work with the unofficial ones, unfortunately. Yeah, so we're good. That's it. Cap together. We'll give it back to my buddy at work, and he'll be a happy man. All right, how long have we been on? Hour and 49. What time is it? I feel like I might take a break and work on my game, but I don't know. I think we might call it a night, and then what we're gonna do is tomorrow during the day we're gonna resume and we'll work on Valiant because I'm tired of mode. And this was a long mod. This took a lot longer than most of them. So, all right, for everybody at Breadboard Studios headquarters, I want to thank you for joining, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Deuces. Stay nerdy.